Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Also, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to all the sincere believers out there, the Akim and the Akwat. So I have two articles I want to touch on briefly. This is very important information that needs to be brought out. We're in the last days. We're fastly coming towards the end of this movie. And the devil, of course, he's doing his part. He's bringing things about in the earth that are ultimately a destruction and detriment unto humanity, especially the Israelites. But we're in the time now where these things are being realized more and more each and every day that goes past. And you have a lot of people speaking out, whistleblowers, bringing out the wicked agenda of these elites and what the truth is behind these laws and policies that are being put in place. Is all to destroy the people and to bring about and set up this new beast system. So we'll start here. It says, while barely anyone was watching, leaders at the UN made a 7-year agreement to implement a single global agenda. Now, we already know that everything they're doing right now, trying to crash the economy, which is deliberate, inflation is high, gas is high. These things are being done deliberately because they want this system to be reset. Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, he said at the beginning of the CV-19 pandemic that we are in the midst of a great reset. So they must collapse this current society setup so they can implement a new totalitarian government upon the earth. And it's going to be a single global government in which you're going to have to be a part of the system in order to utilize the system. And that all goes into the mark, taking the MOTB. So these things are coming down the pipeline, and it's not far away at all. Have you heard about the agreement that global leaders adopted at the United Nations during the 2023 SDG Summit that was held earlier this week? On Monday and Tuesday, officials from all over the world, keep that in mind, all over the world, gathered in New York City to commit their nations to fully implement the 2030 agenda and the sustainable development goals over the next 7 years. And these devils, they don't have 7 years left, because first they was talking about 2050, then they brought it down to 2030. Now they're saying within the next 7 years, but they don't have that long. And this is why you see that they're ramping up the pressure. They're putting the squeeze on the people because they realize that the more judgment that comes upon the earth from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the devil knows that he has but a short time, so he's going to come down with that great wrath. And the sustainable development goals over the next 7 years. If you are not familiar with the 17 sustainable development goals, you can find them here. They are essentially a blueprint for how the globalists want the world to be run. And Klaus Schwab and the WEF, they have been very global. Salakia, they have been very vocal on how they want this new world to be run. It's all over the internet. Of course, they're trying to scrub these things now, because when you try to look for some of these articles in which these quotes are made, you can't find them. But that's because they're scrubbing the internet of these things. They're going across different platforms, paying different platforms to remove the content or just straight up banning you. But we know what's going on. Just about every area of human activity is covered by the sustainable. You see, so every area of human activity, how you're going to work, how you're going to eat, how you're going to get money, clothing, driving cars, everything. Okay, every human activity is covered by the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And it would take extreme measures over the next 7 years in order to achieve all of them by the deadline. So there's talking about extreme measures. Now, how extreme are these devils going to get? The Bible already tell you that at the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So just when this man or these devils, think that they're going to implement this NWO, they're going to be in straits. They're going to be in a difficult position, which is going to lead them to implement extreme measures, you see, in order to achieve all of them by the deadline. Leaders from all over the planet got together and pledged to do whatever is necessary, by any means necessary, to meet those goals on time. They are calling it a new phase of accelerated progress, like I just mentioned. They know their time is short. Now, they're saying 2030, but really, they don't have that long. They don't have 7 years left to implement these things. That's why they're going to have to accelerate the process. Because like I said, they've been shortening the time. First they said 2050, then they said 2035. Now it's 2030. Pretty soon, hey, they're going to have to bring it down to 2025. But we'll see how it goes. But these devils know they don't got that much time left. The people are rising up. Truth is springing forth as a flood within the earth. The Most High is exposing them for who they really are on all levels. So the wool is coming off of the people's eyes. The Most High Spirit is within the earth for many people to proclaim the truth. So therefore their lies can no longer prevail. The truth must be declared, starting through the mouth of the prophets. Check this out. It says they are calling it a new phase of accelerated progress. The following comes directly from the official UN webpage about this summit. They have the link there. It says the 2023 SDG summit took place on September 18th to 19th in New York. It marked the beginning of a new phase of accelerated progress towards the sustainable development goals with high-level political guidance on transformative and accelerated actions leading up to 2030. Convened by the President of the General Assembly, the summit marked the halfway point to the deadline set for achieving the 2030 agenda and the sustainable development goals. It was the centerpiece of the high-level week of the General Assembly. It responded to the impact of multiple and interlocking crises facing the world and is expected to reignite a sense of hope, optimism, and enthusiasm for the 2030 agenda. And see, they have the minds of the people caught up in this nonsense. See, they're using the judgment of the Lord as a catalyst to propel their own agenda. They're saying, oh, well, look at climate change. Look at how wild that the weather has gotten on the earth. We're having extreme heat. We're having hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes pop up all over the place. Something must be done. And the people, they don't know no better because they're under a strong delusion. They're under deception. So they're going to fall for it. But the elites, they know exactly what they're trying to do. They're just using these things to justify what they want to do, which is to have a complete satanic world government upon the planet Earth, in which there will be no more worshiping Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. There will be no more freedom of speech. There will be no more freedom of movement. You're going to be restricted to 15-minute cities. All right, you're going to be on universal basic income. You're going to be eating lab meat. You're going to be eating feces burgers. All right, this is the future that they want for you, and they're proposing this to be done by the year 2030. The globalists really do intend to implement the 2030 agenda and the sustainable development goals by the time the UN General Assembly convenes in September 2030. This is just 7 years from now, and so the clock is ticking. During the 2023 SDG Summit, global leaders adopted a sweeping political declaration in which they committed themselves to achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals within the next 7 years. So this is all the secret counsel of the wicked. And we'll go here in Psalm 64 and 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So when they're telling you that we have a 2030 agenda in which we want to reach 17 goals of sustainability, guess what? That's them whetting their tongue like a sword. The word whet means to sharpen. All right, and we know that these devils that are really in charge are the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all right, which are Edomites, okay, mainly the tribe of Amalek. All right, but they're coming down with that great wrath and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Now Esau's blessing was the sword. Isaac told Esau, by the sword shalt thou live. So this man's very existence, everything about his being, goes back to the sword, warfare, death, and destruction. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter, which is this 2030 agenda. This is really an evil matter. This is not to preserve the planet. It's not to sustain humanity. They actually have it's in their agenda to depopulate. You had Kamala Harris come out and say, they say that it was a Freudian slip, but she spoke the truth. She said that in order for our children to breathe clean air and drink clean water, we must reduce population. She came out and she said that, and she's a part of the Biden cabinet. So you tell me who they're working for. You tell me if they're working for the people when they speak words like that. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. You see, so they search out iniquities. Okay, they search out evil. They search out more ways to oppress people, more ways to steal from people, ways that they can cause wars and deceive people. This is what the wicked does. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them. It says every one of them in the heart is deep. Okay, and that also leads me to Micah 2:1, where it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Okay, this goes into searching out iniquities. Okay, accomplishing a diligent search. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and they write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, what they're about to come down with are grievous laws. Okay, you already have grievous and unrighteous laws on the books, but they're about to come with some more draconian stuff and force you to submit, because they are expecting pushback. They're not gonna expect everybody to bow down to this agenda. They understand there are gonna be seditions. It tells you that in 2 Ezra 15-16, that there are going to be seditions among men, and that they're not going to regard being the people. The people are not going to regard their kings nor princes. Okay, the scriptures tell you that. So they're ramping up. They're trying to set everything up, man. Then you got this October 4th situation in which there's going to be a nationwide, I guess it's like a nationwide broadcast or signal. Social media is going to be shut down. Everyone's going to receive an alert. A frequency is going to be sent out, which is going to tap into everyone's phone. And it's going to last for 1 minute. Now, some people are speculating that this is to activate those that sip the Capri Sun. But hey, we'll see what happens, because we already know that graphene oxide is up in that Capri Sun. So when certain frequencies go out, it affects it in a certain way. So we'll see what happens with that. But this is all a snare unto the people, man. And for those of you that did sip that Capri Sun, hey, you was warned. You should have known better. And if you a Jake that didn't get deleted from that Capri Sun, hey, you better be thanking Yahweh Basham Yahushai and repent from that. Because hey, the Lord granted you grace and mercy to continue. But let's move on to this article here as well. This is from the People's Voice. It's also fact checked. It says WEF calls for free speech concentration camps to jail First Amendment terrorists. So they want to do away with freedom of speech, and they're already doing that. Even here on YouTube, they've pretty much they delete comments. They have taken away the like and the dislike button. They're shadow banning accounts. All right, so now they're still pushing the folly, but the truth that's coming out on these platforms is being suppressed. It's intentionally being watered down, because they don't want this stuff to get out. It says here, the world has reached a critical juncture, according to Klaus Schwab, who has ordered world governments to begin jailing and re-educating anybody who opposes the globalist agenda. And this goes into that Agenda 2030. Okay, this all goes into the council that they just had in New York. All right, these are the things that were being discussed behind closed doors. This is what they want to do. Now, we already know that there's heavy censorship on the internet, but it's about to get to another level. Okay, it's about to get to the point where free speech is going to be a criminal offense. Okay, you're actually going to be jailed for speaking the truth. Okay, so anyone that speaks the truth, you're spouting misinformation. Okay, you saw that big during the pandemic. All right, anybody that came out and posted any information regarding the Capri Sun or the damage that it was doing, they were regarded as misinformationists. Okay, and you were severely penalized for that. Yeah, so they don't want you to speak out against this. They just want you to believe the mainstream media narrative. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to oppose what they're doing. According to Schwab, human history is now officially over, and anybody who disagrees with the globalist agenda must be canceled, deplatformed, arrested, and imprisoned as an example to the rest of society. So these devils, they're very open and plain about what they want to do. The evil plot against humanity has been in the works for years, and now we are seeing the first signs play out before our very eyes. Klaus Schwab has become increasingly bullish about his plans to hijack humanity, destroy sovereignty, and brute force a world government upon the world. According to Schwab, we have now reached a point where anybody who takes a negative, critical, or confrontational attitude to the plans of the WEF must be dealt with harshly. All right, and this is the devil speaking as a dragon. Okay, he's speaking harsh words, draconian words. You see? And this is how these devils truly feel. And all the while, they want to make their agenda seem as something that's benevolent. But as you can see, through the words of Klaus Schwab, it's really a sinister, evil agenda that's being pushed here. It's not anything for the benefit of the people. In this new system, everybody is going to be subordinate unto the beast. And no one is going to be able to speak out. It's going to be a completely authoritarian, draconian government system that's going to be set up. Freedom is going to be non-existent. Klaus Schwab's unelected globalist agents have been instructed to disseminate the instructions in international forums. Former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who now serves the WEF full-time, told the UN Climate Summit in New York City this week that free speech is a weapon of war, and anybody caught speaking their mind on sensitive globalist subjects must be punished accordingly. Now, let me go here to Salakia, Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. The last time I checked, I don't see a man with, I don't see a man in red spandex with a pitchfork and horns on his head going around throwing people in jail. So who's the devil? Let's go back to the article, man. Who is the devil? Who is the one that's proposing to throw people in jail and concentration camps for speaking the truth? Who is saying that the truth is a threat to the WEF agenda? There you go. All right. Esau. All right. That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the devil, he's about to start locking people up just for speaking the truth. All right. Speaking the truth is a hate crime. It's a crime now that is deemed punishable even by death. You see, Amos chapter 8 and 11 says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So we are coming into the times that the truth is going to be outlawed. The truth is going to be silenced. All right. You already have these AI bots on the internet scrubbing for articles and scrubbing for anything that goes against the mainstream media narrative. So the famine of the word is upon us. There's going to come a time very shortly in which even the Bible, men that speak out of the Bible, the prophets, are going to be banned, are going to be jailed, locked up, silenced. So the days of the famine of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are coming upon us very quickly. So this is why we tell you Israelites out there to get this doctrine while you can, because there's going to come a time where you're not going to hear our voice no more. All right, brothers are going to be locked up in concentration camps. All right, the Most High is going to silence us, come a certain time, because, this is the time of the end, and, the grace period is coming to an end. All right. But yeah, all these nations, you see, this is one confederation that all the nations of the earth are coming together, all right, to implement this new system. Revelation 17:13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Now it tells you in Psalms all the nations that were confederate with Esau, Edom, to take down the Israelites and establish their world hegemony. Okay, all these nations are confederate against the Lord and his people to set up this evil satanic world government. You see? So these devils, they're about to come down heavy-handed. Orwell warned us that the elite would try and convince us that up is down, men are women, and war is peace. How right he was. If this sounds crazy, Salaki, let me get this. Harari has declared that human history is over. The elite are determined to turn themselves into gods, and he did say that. All right, Noah Yuval Harari, which is the right-hand man of Klaus Schwab. All right, he came out and said that, we are gods, and anyone that tries to stop us from being gods, they're basically, in all words, going to be dealt with. All right, so not only are they speaking as a dragon, harsh words, but they're threatening you at the same time. The elite are determined to turn themselves into gods, while at the same time depopulating the global population. If this sounds crazy, you must understand who we are dealing with. Klaus Schwab and his cronies are operating with the belief that they are literally gods. You see, Esau, all right, the so-called white man, he has a God complex. Starting with the elites, they have this complex that whatever they do, it's the will of the Most High, and that they are God. So that no one can speak against them, no one can come up against them. That they have complete control, but they're sadly mistaken, because there's only one and true living God of the heavens and the earth, and his name is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, not Esau. But they are coming with that deception and power on the left-hand side. Okay, but very soon the proud is about to be brought down low. All right, because these Edomites are super proud. For them to come out and declare that they are gods, that's a very proud statement, man. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, that's how they're moving, and they are in the spirit of a reprobate. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any kind of righteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? To or even remorse or fear of the Lord. They're just completely anti-Messiah, okay, anti-Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But they're about to be destroyed very, very soon. And the judgment written for Esau, read the book of Obadiah, you see why the Lord has preserved the judgment for the Edomites as he has, because their plan is to basically destroy all nations upon the earth and to set themselves up alone, that they may rule. You know what I'm saying? So, as it is written in Obadiah, there's going to come a time where Edomites, they're not going to exist no more. All right, the Most High is going to destroy them all after they serve their purpose of being the wicked. according to Harari and his colleagues in WEF, that something else is the globalist elite in their techno-communist world order. And in this dystopian vision of the future, there is simply no place for debate or alternative opinions. While the majority of the population will be left to fend for themselves in a desperate fight for survival that most will lose, those who have been designated upgraded humans by Davos will be saved by what the WEF is calling their technological Noah's Ark. You see that? So they're setting themselves up as the saviors. All right. So at the very same time, they're declaring that they're gods. They're declaring that, they have humanity's best interest at heart. They're also, mocking the Most High. All right. They're saying that they're going to be upgraded, that they're, going to have this technological Noah's Ark, that they're going to use AI to basically make society run at the highest frequency. Okay, but it's all through the means of Satan, through the left hand. Klaus Schwab's agenda is already being rolled out in infiltrated nations, including the UK, where the British government has ordered law enforcement officials to arrest and prosecute citizens who share fact-check articles and opinions on the internet. So it's already happening in these Western nations. Okay, this silence the prophet, if you will, agenda is already being done. And make no mistake, it's this thing is coming to America. Okay, it's happening on a small scale level through the internet. Okay, but even very soon, hey, they about to start rolling up on brothers. Okay, Esau, he's about to come down with that great wrath, man. You see, so Mike Benz, this will probably end up being one of the darkest days we mark in the history of internet censorship. Yeah, but the prophets are through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Hey, we've been telling you that these days are coming. You see? And these things are here. So all of this C theory talk and calling brothers bugged out and you don't know, hey, well, the proof is in the pudding. You see? It's all coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this lesson right here. Hopefully this was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. In closing, call halal. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.